So last week we went over some free photo editing software that you can use as an alternative to Photoshop, but all of those were programs that you would install on your computer. Now this week I thought I would go over some online alternatives that you can use, whether you're on your phone, your laptop, a tablet, Windows, Mac, anything that you can use to access a browser, you can end up using one of these tools. So there's a lot of reasons why people may want an online editor versus the ones that you install, like I talked about last week. And some of the biggest reasons are one, they don't own the computer that they're going to be using. They're just using somebody else's device for whatever reason. Two, you may not have the permissions if you're at work or on a school computer or something and you don't have permissions to install anything. These online tools are super handy in that case. And as well, just keeping things light. If you only need to use it for very simple tasks, sometimes installing a program isn't really all that worth it. And if you can find an online tool that allows you to do what you need to and doesn't really have any extra stuff, it's way easier than having to install a program and keep that up to date. Now the first option is Photopea. It's a great, simple photo editor, very easy to use, and it allows you to do vector edits as well. So if you have any kind of logos or things from Adobe Illustrator, you can export the vector and import it into Photopea. Another great element about Photopea is that it allows you to actually open up Photoshop and Adobe licensed formats like the Photoshop, Illustrator, sketches, PDFs, all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. And it not only allows you to pull images directly from your computer or your phone, but it allows you to pull from any of your cloud services as well, which is really helpful. And as with a lot of the tools from last week, the layout of this website is really good and very intuitive if you've ever used something similar to Photoshop. You have all your bars on the left, you have all your stuff up top. You can create an account if you want to, you have layers. So it's a very good and useful tool if you want to do some quick editing and you don't need any advanced features. Now another great online tool is called Polar, and it focuses a lot more on aesthetic style edits, so things like filters. It's also pretty powerful for doing some good minor retouching and actual photo editing. I know a lot of people that use this to quickly edit some photos before uploading them to things like Instagram. As with almost all of the things on this list, there is a pro tier or pro feature set that you can pay for, but the free tool has tons and tons of really good things going for it. And one of the cool things about Polar is that the interface is entirely customizable to however you want it to be. So filters are as simple as just clicking on one and choosing from a list of different types of filters. There is quite a few available for free, and there's even more available if you pay for the premium. Now you also have the ability to add text and shapes. You can do some retouching, as I mentioned, which is very helpful, and some quick cropping. So this one's really good if you just want to do some very quick minor edits to a photo that's already pretty good and you just want to touch it up a little bit. Now Photor is another great option. It has a much newer looking interface. It doesn't really copy the style of interface that Photoshop has, and it's got a lot of tools available for it. It's very easy to understand, and it's very good for general photo editing. As you can see here, there are a lot of options for things that you can adjust, effects that you can add. You can end up doing a lot of retouching here as well. You can add frames, text elements, all kinds of stuff here. So I think that's pretty useful. You do have to deal with some minimal ads because you're on the free version, but it is a pretty simple tool to use, and I have used it in the past. Now, my personal favorite tool is actually Pixlr. I use Pixlr all the time, and the nice thing I like about Pixlr is that depending on what kind of thing I'm looking to do, I can use a different interface, and the more simple the interface I use, the more responsive and quick everything is. So for example, if I'm just doing a quick crop or quickly throwing some text on something, I'll use Pixlr X, which is the very quick and very simple version of Pixlr. If I wanted to do a little bit more advanced things, I would use Pixlr E, which is their more advanced one. And recently they actually added a new one, which is Photo Smash Studio, and that one allows you to add, do things to vector files. So one of the reasons I always enjoyed Pixlr is that, again, it is a very familiar interface because everything is kind of copying that original Photoshop style. It is super easy to use. If you use an ad blocker, you'll be blocking the ads that they force on you if you're using the free version. But there are tons and tons of tools to use in here that are very easy to get to. And as I mentioned before, a lot of these do have a pro version, but a lot of the really good tools here aren't locked behind the paywall. Just some of the more advanced stuff and actually getting paid clip art and elements and stuff like that. I use Pixlr almost exclusively when I'm on a computer that's not my own. I will use this one to quickly edit something if I'm at work or what have you, if I'm on a computer where I don't have the rights to install something. Now, some other things I love about Pixlr is that it contains tutorials in the program to help you walk through certain things that you'd like to do, as well as having tons and tons of one-click functions where you just go ahead and set a few sliders, hit go, and it goes ahead and changes a whole bunch of elements of your photo. Now onto my most used online editor. It's actually Canva, and Canva has quite a bit of a different focus where it's mainly focused on graphic design. I use Canva almost exclusively for doing all of my thumbnails. It's very simple to use. It's very easy to create a template of sorts in order to very quickly do all of my thumbnails. And I'm not the most creative person, so this really helps along with that process. Most things in Canva can be done for free, but there are also paid features and elements that you would need to pay for. There's a mix, so you can actually get a pro subscription service, or you can pay per thing by using Canva credits. Now, one of the things I love about Canva is that it can be used for a wide variety of projects. Things like whiteboards, presentations, Instagram posts, flyers, resumes. You can use it for business cards. You can use it for a brochure if you're going to be, running an Airbnb or something. Like, you can really use Canva for any kind of graphic design project that you may have. And for the most part, everybody can get through it for free. So if you'd like to, I also have a referral code down in the description below for Canva, and if you sign up using that code, you get access to a few of the premium features, and I believe you may also get some Canva coins with that as well. But yeah, those are all of my favorite online tools. If you have any that I did not mention that you really enjoy, leave a comment down in the description below. Name it, let me know what features you love about it, and why you choose it over the others. But I hope this video helped you. If it did, I'd really appreciate if you liked, subscribed. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. As always, big thanks to my patron sponsors, Thoughts, Lime, and Stepback, and thank you for watching the end of this video. If you do want to see any of my other guide videos on things all to do with tech and software, you can go ahead and check out the playlist right up here. And as always, stay safe out there. I'll see you next Saturday.